Okay, welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to look at how to create a pivot table in Excel. So creating a pivot table is so easy. Yes, it's just knowing what you need, where you want it, and the stuff. So I show you how to do it step by step. So I will be using this employee salary dataset to create a pivot table. So the first thing you do, you just come in, click on insert, then here pivot table, then from table arrange, click table arrange, and then you can come here to your data anywhere, let's say here, and then control A. So it has copied all the data. Then create on a new sheet, click here on creating it, choose where you want the paper to be placed. So I want it to be on a new worksheet, so click OK. And here is our pivot table. This is where we are going to insert our pivot table. So first thing I want to, let me rename here. So I just type pivot table. Yes, so after creating the pivot table, now here we have buttons here. These are called buttons where you can select what you want to go there. So for example, I want to get a pivot table on department. Let me use department as rows, and then I want to use monthly salary as the values. So it gives us some. So you can say to give some. Let me use average. So when you want to set change to average, this now it's currently giving some. But when you want it to change to salary, to average, you can click, or any other thing. So you come here and click here, just hover around the sum of monthly salary, then click on value feed settings. Then you can come and say average, and it just says and it gives you the average. Yes, that's how you could. That's the simplest way to create the pivot table, and that's how you create the pivot table. So I can decide to add another here. You see something like filters. So I can set to filter our data set by gender. Let me so I will put gender here. So I can come and say now it's giving now this is the for the all. Then if I want for the female only, I just come here and select female. Okay, now it gives us the average salary per department for every monthly salary for each department. So I can also come here and click on male to give me the, yeah, that's how you use the, yes, you need the filter. So something else we could do, we could also even add another one here. You can add, so insert another filter, another table, another pivot table, so that you can understand the steps. The table range is here, this salary. Click on any, control A. Okay. Now we want maybe city. Yes, let's it to be on the rows. And we want also the monthly salary. This time we can leave it at some. Yes. Okay, we can also, so that we can understand, we can also create yes, we can also I think we can also city, we can use education level as its filters, and it gives, but it looks weird. No, there's no need. Let's just put it back. Okay. Yes, we can also create. Let me add another pivot table here. Yes, let's add pivot table. This time I want to make it maybe look more different. Okay, select Control A. Okay. Now this time, here we use city. Now we can use election level here, and then we can use experience, not really gender. not the we can use just mother salary, and we can use now department as the filter, and we can say maybe we want to see those who have bachelors in operations, and it will give the sum of the salary here. Also, I've been doing about sum of salaries. Let's do something different, rather different. Let's say maybe you want to count. So I will just still add another pivot table. So insert pivot table from table range. Our table range is this. Control A. Yes, and then now we want now to do the count. So the best thing would be maybe you see department as row, and for the values, let's use education level. Yes, so it counts the education levels that are there. Yeah, and that basically it. So something else that comes handy with creating pivot tables is it gives us the chance to insert a slicer. So for example, you can see here, inserting a slicer. So I want to insert a slicer here. So I just click pivot table and insert, and it gives. So I can decide to select a slicer for any. Let's say I want a slicer for, I think department would do, education level would also do, gender will also do, and city will also do. The last doesn't make sense. Yeah, somehow they don't. And those are the slicers. So after creating the slicers, let's put them here like that, like that. We can also make them smaller and much interesting, maybe closer to each other. Reduce this one to a smaller like that. Also reduce this one. The same thing, reduce. Drag it to be closer to the others. So just making them neat. Yes. The same thing, reduce this one. Somehow, yes. And then create. So after creating the slicers, it's good to connect them. So you just select here and report connections with, let's select all the tables, okay, all the pivot tables, so that it makes sense. So we'll do this to all the other, yes, we do this to all the other slicers. Okay, so the same thing applies to this one. Report connections to all. So you can use control, no, it doesn't have. So you just have to mark them step by step for the pivot tables. Yes, all that we have. So with this, let me show you. It will let me finish so that I can show you what it means. So report connections also. Yes. And okay, also this one here. We are going to report connections to for all the pivot tables. This ensures that when I make a change here, it affects all the pivot. For example, let me say masters. It is, I hope you have noticed the changes here. For example, let me say, you see masters there. This gives only for masters. So I can say to put male. You see, it keeps on reducing grade. You see, finance and stuff. So that's how you use the slicers. So you can, if you want to remove the effect that you have there, like the filtering, you can just click here, and here, click again, click here. Yes, and there's no, so that have been applied. Something else with pivot table, it helps us to create simple and easy to manipulate charts. For example, if you want to create a chart, I just click inside any pivot table, and then here on pivot table analyze pivot chart here. Pivot chart here. So I can say to use that one, but I want a pie chart. Mostly I want a 3D, the 3D pie chart, and yes, that's how you get the 3D pivot chart. Yes, you can decide to add a good name, a good title. For example, here I can say, I can type here average monthly salary per department. Yes, like that. I believe that is a good title. Yes, for this pivot chart. So something else, I want us to make it interesting. Maybe it shows us the percentage of the values. So you just click here and then come to design, and you can select from this one. You can either to just use this one, that one, that one, that one, that one, or you can I'm thinking of using that one, but on here let's format data series. So I want here yes, let's you can come here to data labels and then center and then more options. On the more option button, you can come to this one, label options, and you can say what you want to display. I want the percentage and I want the value, and that's how you do it. Yeah, so you can also increase the size of the pivot table, of the pivot chart, sorry. Yes, and something else with this, you have to click here anywhere. You see this let's say average or gender or anywhere. You have to click on this one and then say hide all field but on the chart. So that makes the chart to be look more presentable, so that you can be the same side. Let's create another chart, but let's create now a different one. Let's use this one, the pivot table. So I can click that one and say we come to pivot. When you want to create a new chart, just click pivot table anywhere that you want to use to create the pivot chart, and then we go to pivot table analyze, and then we can come and say pivot chart. Yes, let's use the class and column that is given. So I just click here and say okay, and it appears. So I can place it here, and we can add it and say it's we can say sum of monthly salary by education level. As you can see, we have the education level on the tab, so we have to add access titles. So here is monthly, so I just say you can see of sum of monthly salary, and it's in dollars, and across the blanket. Then down here is education levels, and then I don't think I need this one, so I just click on and delete it. Just backspace it and just delete this. So that is our green table. Let me I can decide to put that center it here. Somewhere good. Yes, if you don't want these ones, the lines, you can also delete them. But for me, I'm good with them. Yes, so then remember to delete this one. Hide or not delete, you hide all with buttons. Yes, and this, they don't understand why it's moving much. Let's put it here. Yes, and that's it all for that one. So you can also add labels. Let's add, maybe I think let's add the labels. And yes, and that's all. That's how to create a pivot table, how to add slicers, and how to make pivot graphs. So I think that's all you need to know about pivot tables. Yes, for now. Yes, something is when you finish, you can decide to control A for everything and then convert them. I prefer using times New Roman 12. Yes, and then maybe making these tables to yes, and you can also do the same to here to the charts times and 12. Yes, I think that's great. That's pretty all for pivot charts. In case you need clarification, you can let me know. Also subscribe. Yeah, for some love. Yes, that's all for pivot charts and pivot tables. Thank you.